afternoon, everyone. It's Allie Shreve here with a look at the market for Thursday, June 15th, where the bulls are continuing to run, Ken.
Yes, they are, Allie. Yesterday, we kind of walked through the healthcare medical sector space, and I'm going to go back to the well and talk about three software stocks because it continues to be a good pocket of strength in the market. So we'll take a look at Procore Technologies, provider of construction management software, also Intapp. I didn't write the symbols down here. I know Intapp is INTA, and finally Confluent in the database software group.
Yeah, don't worry, Ken. I got you covered there with the tickers. Yeah, we'll get to those. First, let's take a look at the major indexes today. The NASDAQ up about 1.2% by sessions close. Same for the S&P 500. The Dow edging those two indexes out by just a little bit, up 1.3% today as managed care stocks were bouncing back. We also had the Russell 2000 up 0.7% today. So green all across the board. The NASDAQ continuing its win streak on both a daily and weekly basis here, Ken. The team's been talking for a while about how extended we've been getting, but we've also been careful to say that it doesn't mean we can't get more extended, and today proved that.
Yeah, exactly. Just looking at the NASDAQ in relation to its short-term moving averages here, the 10-day, the 21-day, which is just above that 13,000 level. But, where the NASDAQ is now in relation to the 50-day moving average, from just historically speaking, it is just at a point where, we're going to expect to see a pullback pretty soon. So it just it raises the risk level a little bit. It doesn't mean that we've been lowering our exposure in the market with the leaderboard model portfolio. We're definitely letting our winners run here. But, just thinking about playing a little defense here and recognizing when things get a little frothy, things get a little extended. Not a terrible idea right now, maybe to take some partial profits and some winners. And but this market is clearly optimistic about the economy going forward. We had that Fed meeting yesterday, and I think the market is getting more confident about the distinct possibility for a soft landing for the economy.
Does appear that way. And now let's take a look at the S&P 500, S&P 5. A nice move here, retaking that 4,400 level with some gusto today, Ken.
Yeah, decisive move above that 4,200 level. It moved sideways for a few days, didn't really test any short-term support levels, and now it's kicked back into gear here with several up days in a row. So kind of a similar situation to the NASDAQ, starting to look extended from its key moving averages. But we do have a market, a market where the leadership has broadened out quite a bit. So even though we're looking at a lot of extended stocks and extended indexes, there's still a lot of stocks acting well out there.
Yeah,
and
joining the party.
Leadership seems to be broadening. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And now let's take a look at the Dow. Here's 0DJIA. Nice move here today from blue chips as well. And today, what's notable is we really cleared a lot of this congestion here around 34,300.
Yes, indeed. And it doesn't look like we had a lot of volume on the NYSE today. It does look like it's going to be lower than what we saw yesterday. But you're right. I mean, this is now, blue chips that are initially breaking out of this long consolidation here. We were talking about the lagging nature of blue chips and small caps, but both of those index have joined the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. And again, just this broadening out of leadership, a lot of different stocks participating here.
And let's take a look at small caps. Here's IWM lagging the other indices a bit, but still up on the day. Yesterday's action, not too great, but at least we did recover a little bit today. Still an inside day though for IWM.
Yeah, but the small caps tend to be, like we were talking about yesterday, just tend to be moving in lockstep with financials. If financial stocks are having a good day, the Russell 2000 seems to be doing well, and vice versa. So while it's still a lagging index at this point, the fact that it is back above all of its key moving averages here tells me that it is on an uptrend, and maybe that next stop for IWM is going to be that 190 level. We'll have to see.
And now let's take a look at XLI, the industrial sector, with a breakout of a long consolidation here today, Ken, and outpacing the broad market.
Yeah, not surprising to see it look a lot like the Dow Jones Industrial Average that we were just showing, breaking out of a long consolidation. So, you've had growth stocks that have been doing very, very well, and now you've got a lot of blue chips that are participating in this rally too. So, broad-based strength. We don't know when that pullback is going to come, but again, you just have to look at your individual holdings and look for sell signals when they arise. But we're not in a situation like that at all right now.
And now let's take a look at those three software stocks, starting with PCOR, Procore Technologies. Now, this is at the intersection of construction and software, so seems like that's a pretty good intersection to be at, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, this software basically brings together contractors and engineers and architects, and it's cloud based, and it's a nice little niche market that Procore is serving. And I have to do a little more work here and find out who exactly their competition is, because when you hear about enterprise software, it's always workforce management, or don't hear a whole lot about construction management. So you can tell by the revenue growth here that they are definitely seeing strong demand for their services. Not quite profitable yet, but again, with stocks that aren't profitable, we like to see that good revenue growth, and we also like to see pretty good fund sponsorship too. And this stock checks boxes in both of those areas. Nice little, what we would call a cup base here. Several up weeks in a row as it approaches that left side high. So we'll maybe see if it can drift lower here and maybe pave the way for a legitimate upside breakout here.
So a couple more days it would need to form a proper handle, Ken. So that's what you're waiting on.
Yeah, it's basically just kind of bumping up against, like I said, that recent that high of 68.56. So getting a little bit of resistance there. Maybe the last remaining sellers get shaken out here, get a lower volume decline, and that could pave the way for some heavy volume buying. We'll see.
And next on our list, we want to check in on INTA. This is Intapp, financial software company with a recent breakout. Either way you slice it, whether you did a downtrend line in the base or just across the top, it was the same day on 6/12 that it had a heavy volume upside move and became actionable, and it's still kind of hovering around that same area here.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really strong move the stock made on Monday. So yeah, you mentioned financial software, also artificial intelligence. This company talks a lot about that, and they're just on the verge of profitability here with a nice big annual earnings estimate for 2024. So, like the way that Intapp has been holding the gains after Monday's breakout, it's having a hard time going down. It has a market uptrend working in its favor, but if you miss the initial breakout here, again, we're just going to kind of watch for some sideways movement here. If it continues to show strength and support, you maybe get another entry here.
Great. And last but certainly not least, CFLT. This is Confluent in the database software area. We got a breakout a little while ago for this stock on 530, maybe even an aggressive entry shortly after earnings in mid-May. It hit the profit-taking zone and is now backing off. So, Ken, what are your thoughts on when we might be able to put some money to work here if this is a good watch list stock?
Well, I'll go back to the daily chart and just see if we're going to get a test of that 21-day exponential moving average, which is the green line right there. You can see last week the stock went through the 10-day moving average, rallied back all the way up to its high, and then even yesterday when the market was weak, the stock rallied all the way back. So really hoping we get just kind of a pullback to the 21-day line here. I would expect that it's such a strong stock and the breakout was so strong that it could very well bounce off that green level there. So maybe watching for a pullback to the 21-day moving average. But again, another stock that is, after a heavy volume breakout, is really holding gains well, showing strength and support. So, if it touches that green line there and bounces, maybe a little starter position. But yeah, just monitoring these heavy volume breakouts and looking for alternate entries here. So Confluent was a strong breakout, and it's still acting well here.
Yeah, and speaking of support, it does seem like institutions are supporting the stock, because even with the two most recent trading sessions being down days in above average volume, looking at where the stock closed, as you mentioned, well off lows today, off lows yesterday. So that definitely looks like support there to me.
Absolutely. It's just you don't have to be a technical analysis expert to be able to gauge positive supply and demand trends here. So it's a stock that despite 2 down days in a row in heavy volume, it's the stock really hasn't given up a whole lot of ground. So still holding that 21-day line. We'll wait for a test and could get us a way back in here. But the database software group, the enterprise software group, it remains a really strong area here, and has been a big reason why the Nasdaq, along with these large cap technology stocks like Apple and Microsoft, the software sector continues to really shine.
Yeah, actually, I want to look at Apple now that you mentioned it, because I know this 180 area was where the prior highs were and a little bit of resistance, and it's been bumping up against that level in recent weeks. This week, it looks like it is officially going to be new high territory for
Yeah.
Apple. So
Pretty
continuing
amazing.
to see.
Yeah,
Yes.
looks like on the monthly chart. Is it an I don't know if
Look.
it's an all-time
Yeah,
high.
it is.
Pretty
All
impressive.
right. So speaking of Ken, I mean, it seems like the environment out there is pretty bullish right now. But at the same time, I mean, you've been noting that a lot of traders have been saying, now we're extended, and sort of expecting the pullback. So obviously, we can't predict what's going to happen, but it does seem like there is some level of worry out there that can act as a wall for this bull to keep climbing.
Well, when the crowd is leaning one way, the market is often going to go the other. And there's been a lot of people that don't believe this rally, and still believe that the economy is in tough shape. And that may end up being the case. I mean, we
Right.
don't know what a slowdown is going to look like. Right now, the market is saying that it's going to be there will be a slowdown, but not a long, harsh, drawn out recession. So we'll just have to see. Again, when you're gauging market health and studying the price and volume in the indexes, it's just about heavy volume on up days, lower volume on down days, very specific price and volume interplay that you want to look for. And it's really just a matter of gauging institutional selling when you see it. And we're losing a bunch more distribution days on the count. We use those to monitor institutional selling in the market, so it really has we really don't have any of those anymore. So we'll see distribution days in the future, but as long as these indexes and stocks can hold these support levels, we have to respect that uptrend.
Mhm. Well said, Ken. Thanks so much. And thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back with more tomorrow morning on iMedia Live, where we will be joined by Kathy Donnelly, co-author of The Life Cycle Trade. Looking forward to a nice knowledge drop from her. As always, we hope you join us, investors.com/iBD Live, for all the details on that. We also have Barron's Live coming up tomorrow at noon Eastern. David, Saito Chung, and myself are going to be talking about 5 of IBD founder Bill O'Neill's biggest winners and lessons we can mine from those big time trades that he made. And you can sign up for that at barrons.com/live. That's it for today, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.